Hey everyone, Nat Daddy here with another Omni review. This is the Grimm Book 1, the deluxe edition. This here holds issues 1 through 15 from Boom Studios. Pretty recent, a few weeks old, maybe a month or so. I quite enjoyed this series. I had read the first few issues and then kind of tailed off and it wasn't keeping up with it, so I was happy to get this and get caught up. I believe this week issue 19 comes out, so I might check out the last few issues there that this doesn't have it until book 2 does come out. Like I said, this is from Boom Studios. This is a great book, actually. I really like the story. I really like the artwork in here. Got Stephanie Phillips doing the writing, and like I said, I really like the artwork in here from Flaviano, and some great colors in here by Rick Renzi. So if not familiar with this story, it is about one particular Reaper here. Her name is Harrow. There are many Reapers, kind of like the Grim Reaper types, and they do kind of what they have always been done in stories, that they escort the newly dead to the afterlife and that. So at the beginning here, there's a guy who dies in a car accident, and she shows up to let him know that he's dead. He doesn't realize it at first, and he doesn't want to admit it, but she takes him down and escorts him down to the waiting room, kind of like in Beetlejuice there, the waiting room of the dead. So she chases him down and finally convinces him that he's dead. And now they're going to travel down the River Styx and head over to hell on that. So like I said, there is many of these Reaper characters here that transport all these souls to hell. Sometimes they go to heaven, but a lot of times that doesn't get decided until you get the waiting room. So as you're going through the river, things are reaching out to get you in that. He's kind of telling, he doesn't remember dying, and then he finally does remember. And he asks her, how did she die? And for whatever reason, she doesn't remember or know how she died, but all the other Reapers do. So she drops him off there, and he doesn't really want to be a part of this. He's still in kind of denial on that. And he actually leaves and steals her scythe there, her sickle. Each of the Reapers have their own sickle there. So she convinces a couple of her friends there to help retrieve it and go get this guy. And they go do that and that. So they head back to Earth and that. And the Reapers aren't able to interact with living people, just with dead people. But they find out during this whole adventure about them going to be chasing down this dude, that she can interact with people and that, and no one's ever been able to do that. So this causes a big ordeal, especially within the organization that runs all this. So everyone starts talking about that. She kind of gets suspended and starts wanting to wonder why, that she doesn't know how come she died and everybody else does. So so she gets a little bit suspicious in that. And as that's happening, this big kind of end of life thing starts coming back, and it's because of her. Life is kind of unbalanced now. People aren't dying when they should be, and the dead are kind of like filling up. They don't have room down there anymore. So turns out there's a big coup going on down there in hell by the people who are running it, and she's involved. It seems like pretty obvious from the beginning that maybe she is like a chosen one type of thing, or that maybe she does have some kind of connection to death itself. So they start heading out to try and find death themselves and see if it all what it does lead to. Her and her little crackpot team there do end up finding death, finding out what's the connection between her and Harrow and that. I don't want to spoil in that, although it is kind of obvious in that, but it's a lot of fun. And then later on in the story here, through a few different things in that, it turns out that she kind of becomes like I said, the leader, the ultimate Grim Reaper herself in that, through a few different incidents that does happen. And again, too, that this big creature here, which is kind of like the balancer in that, so he's out to get her as well too. So got lots of things going on in this book here. Like I said, does deal a lot with like the death and the afterlife, has a lot of comedy to it. The characters themselves are funny. her friends here. He is a French guy from like the 1700s, 1800s, and this guy here is kind of like a Ozzy Osbourne type of person. So lots of fun. Again, you see how some people die in that, and again, it kind of shows that how throughout time these people have been escorted to the hell area to be judged in that. So she ends up meeting the Death himself, and ends up looking like this dude down in Vegas and that. There is a connection between the two, and then, like I said, this all-ending type of demon shows up to kind of wipe out both of them. What happens after this is eventually, because of that, all the people stop dying. Nobody dies anymore in that, so that has to be rectified, because again, that's unbalanced and that. So people are going around doing things even though they can't die. People in hell there are realizing that nothing can happen anymore. So lots of fun here. A little bit of darkness, a lot of great artwork in that, and I would definitely recommend it. You know, the whole Grim Reaper having to deal with the afterlife stuff's kind of fun. He says has some Beetlejuice fun to it, has some of that Pushing Daisies TV show in it. I myself would definitely recommend this. It is a little bit of a bigger size. It is, like I said, a deluxe size and that, so a little bit bigger than a normal Omni size page-wise. But again, because of that, you get to see more of the amazing colors and artwork in that. So he said, do recommend getting this one, and then catch up on the last couple issues in that are out now before part 2 comes out. All right. From Boom Studios, we have Grimm, Book 1, the Deluxe Edition. And always a bonus, I always like it when they have extra artwork, concept art, covers for the books and from the alternative variants and that. Definitely worth checking out. Alright, everybody, we will see you next time for another Omni review.